I'm Anil Kumar. Welcome to the series on trigonometric functions. Let's begin with trigonometric expressions. We'll now try to simplify some of the expressions and match the solution with multiple choice questions. We have 4 questions here for you to practice. Question number 1. Expression cot square x over cosecant x plus 1 equals to what? And we have sin x over 1 minus cos x minus sin x over 1 plus cos x is equal to what? 4 choices are given to you for each question. You can pause the video, answer the question, and then look into my suggestions. So let's answer them first. So cot square x, it reminds you of the Pythagorean identity, which is 1 plus cot square x is equals to cosecant square x, correct? So cot square x can be written as what? So from here, we can write cot square x as cosecant square x minus 1. So we can simplify this a bit. So I could write this given expression as cosecant square x minus 1, let me write minus 1 here, divided by cosecant x plus 1, and we have plus 1 also. Now cosecant square x reminds me of difference of squares. I could factor this and write this as cosecant x plus 1 times cosecant x minus 1 divided by cosecant x plus 1, and we have plus 1 here. Now you could cancel the common factors. What remains is cosecant x minus 1 plus 1, and that gives you cosecant x. So my suggestion is that in such questions it is better to simplify rather than guess and check. Alright, so it doesn't take much time, just 3 steps to get the solution. Now I'd like you to do the second question yourself, and here is how we are going to do it. You can actually pause the video to answer. The common denominator here is 1 minus cos square x. When you multiply 1 minus cos x with 1 plus cos x, what you get is 1 minus cos square x. Correct? Now, since this is sin x, we could take sin x is actually common for both. You could take sin x common, and then what you really get here is 1 plus cos x and minus 1 minus cos x. I have reduced one step. I hope that is clear. Normally you will multiply this by sin x, that also by sin x, then take sin x common. Is it okay? But anyway, this is also an equivalent step. So we have sin x common here, and inside the bracket 1 minus 1 is 0, and cos x minus and minus becomes plus. So what we get here is cos x plus cos x. Correct? 1 minus 1 is 0, 2 cos x. And in the denominator, 1 minus cos square x will give you sin square x. So you could always cancel one of the common factors of sine from the numerator. Correct? So what are you left with? You are left with 2 cos x in the numerator divided by sin x, which is 2 cotangent x, which is the option C for you. Correct? So that is how you are going to answer this question. I hope the steps are clear. Let's move on and take 2 more questions for similar type of expressions. So now we are going to simplify the expression for tan square x divided by secant x minus 1. Now this is very similar to our first example. So it is a practice question for you. I would like you to pause the video, answer this question, and then look into my suggestions. Now tan square x can be written as secant square x minus 1. And what we have in denominator is secant x minus 1. Now secant square x, applying difference of squares, could be written as secant x plus 1 times secant x minus 1 divided by secant x minus 1. Now one of the factors, which is secant x minus 1, cancels. So you are left with secant x plus 1. We have with cos in the denominator, so secant could be written as 1 over cos x plus 1. Taking cos as a common denominator, I could write this as 1 plus cos x. So we do have a term which is 1 plus cos x over cos x, which matches perfectly. So that could be your solution, right? In fact, that is your solution. Now here is the last question. I'd like you to take this as your test problem, right? So I'd like you to copy this question, answer, and then look into my suggestions. So question number 4, here is the expression cos x minus cotangent x divided by 1 minus sin x is equal to what? Now to solve this, what we can do is we can write cot as ratio of cos and sine. So let me write this as cos x minus cos x over sine x. And in the denominator, we have 1 minus sine x. So we could take sine x as a common denominator and write this as cos x times sine x minus cos x. And the sine x, which is a common denominator, comes down here, sine x. And we can multiply with this denominator, which is 1 minus sine x. You get the idea. Taking cos x common in the numerator, you get 1 minus sine x. And denominator, we do have a factor 1 minus sine x, correct? They will cancel. And what remains is cos over sine, which is cot x. So that is how you're going to answer this particular question. So I hope you understand and appreciate how trigonometric expressions could be simplified. So we basically used Pythagorean trigonometric identities and very simple ratios conversion to get the solution. I hope that helps. Feel free to write your comments and share your views. And if you like and subscribe to my videos, that will be great. Thanks for watching and all the best.